Peace and blessings. This is Born Love the God going in one more time around that Bambaataa pedophile shit. And this is directed to TC Islam of the Zulu Nation. TC Islam got a way of trying to sugarcoat it about, and he's a good dude. And don't get me wrong, I did TC Islam. I met him in '93 when he first started coming through representing the Zulu Nation in Bronx River. And by '94, he was a good dude. I got the chance to just meet him a few times, and he's a pretty decent brother. I don't have no animosity towards the brother. Me and the brother, he know his big brother, Big Born. He's a good dude. He's all right. But a lot of times these Zulus who came, like he said, the interview with Star, who I've been talking to and sending videos to, and we getting ready to do the interview as soon as we can, for shot 97. It's crazy. It's mind-boggling because a lot of these dudes want to proclaim Zulu Nation from what Bam built, but if you're not Big Herb from Gestapo, the original line, who was Spider's right hand, and you ain't Wood 16 Bars, you ain't Kevin Fleetwood, you not Puerto Rican Rob, you not Jerry Brent, if you not Chris Ali, if you're not a part of that original circle, then it's hard for me, Bradford, Coleman, you know what I'm saying? If you're not a part of that original circle, it's hard for me to ingest y'all really entitled to be like talking that Zulu Nation thing. And TC Islam played a pivotal role indirectly into what took place in '94 with Tupac Shakur getting robbed and shot in New York City. And it was indirect, and but it still had major impact on hip hop, and and that wind up leading to even the death of Biggie Smalls, and it starts with the interview that TC Islam had with Tupac Shakur at Hot 97. And a lot of people don't realize that, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't really know hip hop. They don't really know the ins and outs of what took place. See, TC Islam had inherited his slot time at Hot 97 from Africa Bambaataa, who had the slot time and then gave it to TC Islam. And so, TC Islam's going to have a favorable, contingency for Africa Bambaataa because, that's the way that go. But overall, it was his interview with Tupac Shakur that actually wound up leading to Tupac Shakur getting robbed and then shot down at the studios when that happened in '94. And it was based on the fact that TC Islam had asked Tupac Shakur during his interview with Tupac Shakur, while the whole New York was listening, what was Tupac Shakur's opinion on who made better beats, East Coast or West Coast? And when he asked Tupac that, he thought Tupac probably would come up with a general blend or balance in between. And Pac just went all the way in and said, no doubt about it, West Coast beats is way better than East Coast beats. East Coast beats can't fuck with West Coast beats, point blank. And that threw a rift in everything that was going on for Pac in New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, Haitian Jack was actually shopping Tupac's deals because Pac didn't have a deal. So Haitian Jack was actually a guy who was trying to be a manager and agent for Tupac Shakur. Then tried to get Tupac Shakur a deal with Bad Boys and for Def Jam Records. And the jury that Pac actually had on when he got robbed was actually bought for him by Haitian Jack. And their whole robbery, or whoever else was involved, was about taking the jury back, not shooting Pac, but actually robbing Pac for the jury and then sending him back to the West Coast without that particular jury. Since West Coast beats was so better than East Coast beats, that's what the whole thing was supposed to be about. Now, I can say that, I can establish that because in 1998 to 2000, I was in Elmira Correctional Facility with Ty, who happens to be Tut's brother. Now, Ty was in a shootout in the barbershop that's mentioned in Don Diva, Fed magazines, on an interview with Tut. Ty was actually the one that got shot. He was the one that had the shootout with his cousin against the police, and he got shot 6 times and was in a he was in a coma, not even a medically induced. He was in a coma for 6 months and came up out the coma. But, you know, I'm locked up with Ty there, and then when we was in Mohawk Correctional Facility from 2000 to 2004, before he went home, me and him, that was my right hand man. You know, they from Cypress in Brooklyn, Cypress Projects out in Brooklyn. And that's my son. That's my big brother. That's a gunslinger. And Ty told me exactly what it was. You know what I'm saying? It was more or less they was trying to take the jury back from Pac. But Pac, being Pac, the way Pac get down, he wasn't having it. And they was mind-boggled by the fact that it wasn't the way that they planned it to be. And Pac was reaching for that 32 he had on him in his boot or whatever, and it just turned into somebody had shot him. But TC Islam did the interview with Pac, and that basically spawned everything that wound up being East Coast, West Coast thing, and, you know, God bless the dead for Pac and God bless the dead for Biggs. You know what I'm saying? But TC Islam actually did the interview that led to a lot of things in hip hop that East Coast West Coast thing, you know. So I know TC Islam. TC Islam no born, you know, from Bronx River. You know what it is. But you know, the big boy is a pedophile. You know, you just tried to go around the fact that he was raping people above the age of pedophilia, because he was doing that kind of stuff without people having firsthand knowledge. Now, you dudes that was into that, going around that dude 2, 3, 4 times, he only had to reach on me once, and you ain't never seen me around that man no more. But, you know, that's what it is. And, you know, I can't establish nothing that you built outside of Bronx River and called it Zulu Nation. You know, there's too many line representatives from the first family. You know, y'all reaping the rewards of what Africa Bambaataa did, and it's still based on that pedophilia thing. And y'all, that's why it has no foundation, because a lot of y'all still trying to act like, and y'all got places. Like you said, I saw you and got a chance to meet you in 93, 94, when you first get online with this here Zulu Nation thing. And, you know, it's a lot to it. All right, peace.